I am Tony. Welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, special welcome to you. Today I'm coming to you with a long video. I'm sure it's going to be long. This is going to be my eyeshadow palette declutter for 2024. I don't even know if I did one of these last year, but I did one the year before. I know that. So I don't know how many palettes I have, but I know it has to be like 150. At least, maybe more, maybe less. But I don't have all my palettes in here. Some of them are put away in a makeup kit, and then other ones are in a drawer. So I'm going to do as much as I can right now, and then I'll just come in and film the little shorter one and add it to it. Anyway, let's just get started right off the top. I'm so afraid this stuff is going to fall. This is the Jungle Lights palette from Flower Beauty. These are the nicest freaking shimmers. Like, you would think, Flower Beauty, what's all that about? That's what that's all about. It is amazing. Seriously, I'm not gonna swatch either. I just wanted to show you guys how beautiful these are. I actually want to look more of these up and see if I can get more like this in this packaging in the big pans, because it is just amazing. Okay, next up we have the KVD. Is this the Moon Garden? Yeah, the Moon Garden. It looks like this. It's just not my style. Like, I got this after Christmas because I hadn't seen anybody do a review on it, and I just figured, why not me do it? So I got the Black Radiance Brilliant Effects Tribal Brights. This is what this looks like. I'm gonna get rid of this one too. This reminds me of that one, I think it's Suva Beauty palette. It's like Block Party or something. This reminds me of that. Okay, next one. And this is the thing I'm hoping I don't get in the Odin's Eye mystery box. This is the Saga of Freya Cat's Breath palette. And it looks like this. I'm going to get rid of this one too. I still have it in the packaging. This thing is like brand new. So I've learned that if stuff is brand new this long, it's got to go. Okay, this is the Hank and Henry Sweet Tooth palette. And it looks like this. It's very cute and very rainbow, which I normally love, but just not with this one. Okay. This is a face palette. This is the Naked Cosmetics, like, colored palette. I'm gonna get rid of that. Here's another one I'm gonna get rid of, but I love the blush in here. This is the Cinnamon Bear. This is from Too Faced from, I think, 2022 Valentine's Day. It is an alright palette, but the blush is awesome, and it has to go. Next up, Ace Beauté Glow Palette. This gotta go too. If you haven't noticed, there's a theme here. I don't use anything. Here is the Aspen palette from BH. And the only thing I touched in this palette was right here. My fingernail nicked this purple. So this one's gonna go. So far I've gotten rid of everything I touched except for one thing. Okay, this is from Pat McGrath Labs. This is the Mothership eyeshadow palette. What's on the back? Mothership Rose Decadence palette. I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't use it. It's like, if you look at this, I took the thing off. It's brand new. Like, I touched it to see how shimmery it was, and that's it. I think that Pat McGrath deserves a little more attention than that. So I'm going to put that to go, but in a special pile for my family to go through. I have the Wet n Wild Pride palette from 2022. And then last year they brought the same exact palette out. So I'm going to get rid of that. This is the Hollywood Glam by IBY. This still says IBY in all the things, if that tells you anything. So I'm going to get rid of that. Whew. Okay, here's the Goddess palette by Alter Ego. I'm actually going to keep this. This is a really pretty palette, and it has a lot of neutrals in it, and I don't have a lot of neutrals, honestly. So I'm going to get rid of that. This is the Flower Beauty and ET palette. This is actually pretty gorgeous, but I mean, there's duochromes in here and stuff, but I'm not going to wear it, so I got to get rid of it. I can't keep stuff if I'm not going to use it. Okay, here's the Ace Beauté Oceanic palette. Keeping this for sure. Can't get rid of that. I love that. Okay, here's one I got, never used. This is by You Can Be, and it's called Cellophane. It still has the original plastic in it. I've never touched a color in this palette, not one. And if it is swatched, it was from somebody at the store. Okay, next up we have the Norns palette from Odin's Eye. I will definitely be keeping this until I get the new formula. Here is the Beach Please by Michelle Martin, and I'm gonna keep this. I actually really liked using this. Was it this one or another one? I don't know. I'm gonna set this one aside because it was either this one or another palette that looks a lot like it that I really liked. So I'm gonna put that to the side because I'm not sure yet. This one hurts my heart. Okay. This is my Kaleidos Escape Pod palette. I wish Kaleidos would go back to this. I'm going to get rid of it. Like, they've broken my heart enough going into the female anatomy and all that stuff. And no. Everybody remember this? Oh my goodness. This is a joke. Okay, I got to be careful because the mirror in here is broken, but this is like the first time I've ever seen duochromes in a like mainstream palette. Okay, we have the Wander Beauty Sweet Escape. This is actually a pretty palette. I'm not going to keep it. Okay, the Wet palette from ColourPop. I am missing one of the pans in this, and it's a nice palette, honestly, but just not gonna do it. And I feel like I'm missing some stuff, but I guess I'll figure it out. And if it doesn't end up in the declutter, that's okay. This is by Maven Beauty, and this is their Cosmic Drip in Stargate. These colors are like really pretty. They swatch pretty and everything. I just never ever use it, so I'm gonna put that one down too. This one is the same way. This is the Enchanted Forest palette by Black Moxie Cosmetics, and this is what it looks like. I tried to use this, but it's supposed to be multi-chromes, and they don't multi-chrome at all. Like, if you look at them from in the pan to the thing, they're the same. It's just too dirty for you to see it right now. Okay, I have this palette by MBA Cosmetics. Yeah, I'm not too thrilled with it, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. Okay, this one I'm gonna keep. It's a Pat McGrath Labs Quad. I love the way these colors look together. It's beautiful. So I'm really, really happy with how good I'm doing with this. The Moonchild palette from Anastasia. It's used, but not a ton. You see some dips in the pan, but it's whatever. I'm going to get rid of this. I honestly, except for one, I don't really use face palettes a lot. And funny enough, the face palette I actually use is the next one. This is the Ofra Charm Your Cheeks palette. I love this. It's beautiful, but I love this because it had an orange and a red in it. But now I have the Juicy Cheeks palette from Blind Bunny, so I don't think I need this anymore. Okay, I'm getting rid of that too. Woohoo. Okay, this is the BH Cosmetics Color Festival. I was supposed to send this to somebody, and I have no idea who it was. And I lost it and couldn't find it for the longest time. And then I found it under my dresser and couldn't remember who I was supposed to send it to. So if you're out there and you're watching this, I am getting rid of it, but I'm thinking of you. Just don't know who you are exactly. Okay, let me pull some of these palettes down. I got a really skinny palette stack, and I'm afraid it's going to fall. Here's the Avocado Toast palette. This is a lot of greens and a couple neutrals. I am going to keep this. I like this a lot. Okay. Naked Honey. It's pretty, and it's some neutrals, so I'm going to keep it for now. Okay. Next up, we have the Icy palette, the red one. I think I'm gonna let this go, and wherever the blue one is, because I don't think I grabbed it at all, but I don't know. I do want the blue one. I have them both. So next up, we have the Malibu Barbie palette from Color Pop. I can't talk or think at this moment. This is pretty. I'm gonna keep it. It's very pretty. Okay, this is the NYX Off Tropic palette. I have the other one of these. This, if you look at it, it is brand new, never been touched. I don't have a problem with NYX eyeshadows. It's not my exact form. This is the Riviera palette. I can't talk. By Anastasia. This is probably the only Anastasia product. No, that's not true, that I'm going to keep. And that's not true, because I do like quite a few of their palettes. So let me... Oh, there's another palette right there. What are you doing hiding over there? That's not fair. And actually, this is the Wilderness palette. Might as well do it right now while I found it. It's a mess, but that's because I use it. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to put that to the side back there. Okay. This is an older palette, but I want it. This is the Bright Lights by Pinky Rose Cosmetics. And I love the mattes in here. Absolutely love. This green is like my favorite green in my whole collection. I absolutely love this green. So I hope to get the new palette with Gilmore Girls, Gourmand Girls, and Steph's Beauty Stash. And I believe that has some fluorescence in it. So I'm hoping to replace that with this. This is the Rustic Glam palette from Dominique Cosmetics. I love this black, but I have other blacks like this in my collection. So I'm going to get rid of this. Still got the sleeve and everything. I'm trying, guys. This is a lot. Dominique Cosmetics, Celestial Storm. And this one looks like this. It's beautiful, but I just don't use it. This is another one with a black that has shimmers in it. I love a good black with shimmers in it, but I like them to last, and a lot of times they don't. Okay, so this is the Ace Beauté Classical Paradise. This is my perfect fall palette. I love this for fall, so I'm not getting rid of it. Not even close. This is the Acre Beauty. They closed down a little while ago, so RIP them. But this is a pretty little palette. I just don't use it. So we're gonna put that down. Okay, next up we have the Amorese palette from Anastasia. And this is where I was thinking, I do have another one that I'm keeping too. But this palette looks like this. The pinks in here and this blue are just amazing. So I'm going to keep this. Next up, we have the Ace Beauté Paradise Fallen palette. This is my perfect spooky time palette. So we're going to keep that. Next, Ace Beauté Slice of Paradise. I'm going to get rid of this one. This is a rainbow palette. I have so many rainbow palettes that I like so much more that I'm going to stick to them. Okay, here goes the Odin's Eye Christmas Eve palette. It looks like this. Keeping this for sure. I love these Christmas palettes. This is the Merry Christmas palette from Odin's Eye, and let's get it to, well, it looks like this. It's beautiful. I'm keeping it. Okay. Next up, I have the Nomad Home for the Holidays palette. It's just weird that all these Christmas ones were in a row. I've actually hit pan on one shade and close to two. So I'm not getting rid of this. I can't. It's just too pretty, and I love the shimmers in here. So there's that. The Plain Jane palette. I just used this in the video I did before this. It is beautiful. The duochromes are amazing. I cannot get rid of that. Okay, we have the Sugar Drizzle Hypernova palette. And this one, it's beautiful, but I think I'm going to get rid of it. Sorry, but I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to enjoy it anymore, and somebody else might enjoy it more than I would. This is the Berries and Cream palette by Dominique Cosmetics. Now this one, I'm actually going to keep. I like this palette a lot, and for the next year or so, I want to keep it and see where we end up. Next up, we have the Nomad One Up palette. I love this palette. It is so stinking cute, and I love the colors in it. So, keeping this. And I was going to get the second one of those, but I heard it was like garbage, so I didn't get it. Here is a Jacqueline Cosmetics palette called Strawberry Fields, and this is another one. Not touched, except for the one red shimmer in there. I touched that to see what it looked like. This is the Ace Beauté Blossom Passion palette. This is my perfect Valentine's Day palette. So I love the Ace Beauté palettes for specific reasons. Here goes the other one I was talking about. This is my Jackie Aina palette from Anastasia. I love this palette. It's not my normal color story, but I love this. So there's that. I only have 3 more in this row. 12 Days of Lunar from Lunar Beauty. I love these colors, but I never touch this palette. Never. I'm going to put this back in my rotation and try to do a Shop My Stash or something so that I can pull this out and use it because it deserves it. Like, it's such a beautiful story and it's totally worth it. Okay, this thing is a mess. This is the Heather Austin palette, but I love this palette. I use it all the time. I just used it in my last video also. Love this. So that can go down there. Next up, we have the Ninhindren or whatever palette from Adept. And I love this too. It's beautiful. So I'm going to keep that. Okay. This is Jeffree Star. Now, I don't know how I feel about Jeffree Star. I feel like every person deserves a second chance, but I think the only bit of second chance that I'm going to give on this is just keeping this really sparkly black one, and I'm going to get rid of the rest, and then I'll just put it in something else when I get a moment. Okay. So let me go through some of the skinny ones before they fall. This is the Kaleidos Futurism 3 Astro Pink. This is what it looks like. This is gorgeous. This is another one of those blacks that has a glitter in it, but this, it falls out. This blue is amazing. And this pink right here that looks like a silver. Hold on. Look at that. It doesn't really show, but there we go. It is amazing. This is the Kaleidos Futurism 1 Sci-Fi Green. I love this palette. I'm going to keep it. It's that grungy, beautiful story that, you know, all of us makeup lovers have to have. I have this Nile palette. I got this from Russia Bee Cosmetics whenever I was getting the one box that's like all her stuff. I love these colors together. They are so beautiful. This blue is like a duochrome that has gold in it. It's just amazing. So let me try to get that to close, and I'm going to keep it. There's that. Put that there. Okay. The next one is the Futurism 2 Cyber Brown. And I really like the 3 colors right here. This, the brightest silver, and then this red and this rose gold are amazing. You can tell because I've never touched the browns in here, but those other ones have dips in them. I can't help it. I love what I love. Kaleidos Futurism 5 Electro Turquoise. I just can't seem to get rid of these palettes. I love them and I still use them. So it's not like there's a need for me to get rid of them. It's just that they take up a lot of weird space. That's all. Okay. There's that. Okay. We're going to go back to these. This is the Sugar Drizzle. This is the original Sugar Drizzle palette with the duochromes in it. I love this palette. I made one of my most beautiful looks ever with this palette. So I'm going to keep this. Put that there. Oh, here's my blue icy palette. Again, this is a mess because I actually use it. So I'm gonna just put that away. Okay. Next one is by Russia Bee Cosmetics. This is called Gold Digger. Gold. G-O-A-L. I like these two, but that's not enough to keep a palette, so I'm gonna just get rid of it. Next one is the Hummingbird with Fancy Face from Odin's Eye. It looks like this. It's beautiful. I'm keeping it. I keep losing all these plastic things from my bags, and I don't know where they're going, but whatever. Okay, this is the Giant Wools palette with Annette from a Next Makeup Corner. This is freaking beautiful too. I love it. Just can't beat this. So we're gonna put that there. I put my other palette in the wrong place. Okay, let me try to get done with these bigger palettes, and then we'll go to the huge palettes and the other stuff. Here is the Trendy in Tokyo palette. This is a beautiful rainbow palette, and it's a good formula too, but I have other rainbow palettes that I like better. The next one is a mimosa, and how funny is that? I had one today. Gotta have a mimosa on Easter. This is pretty, but I'm not gonna use it, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. This one is the Extraordinary Aries palette. This is from Just Anne, and I like a couple of these colors, but I think I'm gonna get rid of it. I like, what color is this? Brown. I think I'm just gonna get rid of it. I can't, like, just keep saying, oh, I have to keep it. I have to keep it if I only like so much of it. This is the Resurgence palette from Heather Austin and Unearthly. That took me a minute. This is a beautiful palette. It makes awesome looks. This is another one of those greens, but this one isn't as bright as the other one that I was talking about. So you have to put like a white base behind it, but it's a wonderful palette. Okay. Real quick, let me finish up the Kaleidos. This is the Futurism 6 or 7. 6. Okay. And I hit pan on one of these. I'm going to keep this. Okay. There's that. Stay. There's that. Now, this is the Scald palette. I don't know if I'm going to say these names right, but I'm going to keep this. I really like this palette. Okay. Next one is the Alva 2 palette. I love this. I don't know. It's like 3/5 of the palette or something like that. I like 4 colors out of the 6 in there. So I'm just gonna keep it. This is the Alva 2 Mini Forest. And I like these colors. This like grungy fairy stuff right here. It reminds me of fairies. So I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to, but it does. Okay. The next one is the Oud palette, whatever. And this is amazing. I love this. All of it. It's just, it makes such a stunning eye look. Like if you use every color in that palette and just build, it is so beautiful. Okay. Now, I hope these are all here, and I know they're not. Okay. We're going to go through the Natasha Denona real quick. This is the Eyeshadow palette 5. This is palette 10 though. And it's the purplish one. I really, really like this. I'm going to keep it. Pretty much all the Natasha Denona palettes I have, I'm keeping. Because if I have them, I wanted it. And I'm not going to get rid of it. So next, I have the Cranberry palette and the Feds palette. So I'm going to keep them. Okay. Now, I have 2 more on my table, and then I got to switch a bunch of stuff around. This is the Wet Cherry palette from Lime Crime. I'm going to keep this. I love the way these shimmers look on the eyes. It is amazing. And next we have the ColourPop. I lost the pan. Hold on. Okay, I lost the pan and it broke. So this is getting decluttered. I wasn't going to declutter it, but that just made a no-no. Not doing that one. Okay, I'll put that back there and clean it up in a minute. Okay. Let me put these over here. All right. Sorry about that. This palette is the Culture 2 or the Culture 1. What am I talking about? I'm going to get rid of this. It's too big. It is literally too big. I love the tones in here. It's really pretty and everything, but it's just too freaking big. So there's that. We have the Lethal Cosmetics. What is this called? It's like, this came out right around like holiday last year. It came out during holidays. And this is like about trees or leaves or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm gonna keep that. Next one on top is the Element 115 palette. I just got this, so I'm not gonna get rid of that for anything. We have the Genuine Gems palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics. I really like this. Like, all these palettes that I'm saying right now are actually going on vacation with me, so I'm stacking them in a different place. This is the Cara Beauty Summer Days palette. I love this, except for that glitter. I love this palette. It is so beautiful and such a nice palette. It has nice shimmers and bright colors. It's great, and it's going on vacation with me. Okay, here is the Nomad Royal Europe palette. It looks like this. It is beautiful. Put that there. This is the Celestial Garden palette. It looks like this. These pans down here, these 4, they are water activated liners. So there's that. And then this is my Looksy Beauty singles that I'm gonna take on vacation with me. I'm probably taking way too much makeup, but I do it every time I go. Okay, real quick, I gotta kind of do this haphazardly because some of them are gonna fall if I don't do it right. This is the Milan Row makeup Poison Ivy palette. This glitter right here is the most beautiful holographic glitter I have ever put on my eyes, and I love it. I really like that. This is the Unearthly Devour palette. This was their Christmas launch. Or not Christmas, Halloween. I always think Christmas because it's red and green, but this was their Halloween launch, and it is amazing. Okay. A couple more over here, and then we'll just get to the rest of them. These are my Odin's Eye singles. They have to go with me on vacation. I can't live without them. Okay, now I have the Nightshade palette from Gourmand Girls. It looks like this. Very beautiful palette. Next up, I have the Spooked palette. Do you really need both of these? Not really, but I like having both. This one has The only difference to me is this one has yellows in it, and I'm a big person on yellow. So there's that. And then I think these three are the last ones that I'm taking on vacation. It's my It's Freaking Bats palette. And it looks like this. I'm going to keep my Moonfall palette. It's going on vacation with me. I'm dropping all the plastics out of my palettes. And I'm not meaning to, it's just happening. Okay, and then the Shroud Cosmetics Peaches and Dreams. Yeah, I got a lot of Shroud palettes right here. I didn't mean to do that, but that I'm keeping. Okay. This one is the Makeup Revolution Alexis Stone palette. This is pretty interesting, but no, I'm not keeping that one. Okay. Margarita palette from Glam Light. I like this a lot, and I'm going to keep it. It's so much fun in the summertime. I have the Mercury Retrograde by Huda Beauty. This looks like this. I am going to declutter this because I don't use anything in here really except for that really pretty blue. So we're gonna, I have to start stacking these somewhere else. This is some singles from a little bit of everywhere. Okay, put that there. I also got the Dirty Martini palette from Glam Light. This is beautiful. I'm not going to get rid of it. See, I told you I'd make up for that big old dent in the beginning. This is the Love palette by Natasha Denona. I bust this out every year around Valentine's Day, of course. I think everybody does. This is the Delicious Delights palette from Cosmic Brushes. It looks like this, and it is a ball to play with. I love that palette. I'm going out of order and all haphazard now. This is the See You Later by Violet Voss palette. It looks like this. I'm going to get rid of it. That's a big one for me because I usually don't do that with that stuff. I usually won't get rid of my Violet Voss stuff because I'm too attached to it. But this is the Glam Light Cake palette, and there goes that plastic. It looks like this. I think I'm going to keep it. It's a weird palette to store, but I really, I really like the colors. And if you're looking at my garbage back there, please be nice. Here's the Witchcraft palette from Spellbound Cosmetics. It looks like this. It's very, very pretty. The middle 9 shades are all duochromes, and then the outside 3 shades are all really murky, like spooky time like shades. Here's a color pop thing. These are from Give Me Glow and JD Glow in here. Not gonna get rid of that. This is the It's Belle Cool Summer palette. I really like this palette. I think I'm gonna keep this for this year, use it, and then next declutter, I'm gonna get rid of it. So we're gonna put that there. Okay, this is the one that I didn't know which one was which. So let me check and see. No, this is the one I want. Big time. I like doing a look with this, and this. The 3 greens. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to get rid of that. I have the Sugar Crystals palette. This thing is wrecked. I've hit pan on so many colors in here, and other ones are barely touched, but I'm not going to get rid of it because I just like it that much. Here is the Strawberry Dream palette. It looks like this. I'm going to keep this. Next up, we have the Moonspell Volume 2. And I'm trying to figure out what to do with this. This is a palette. I don't really use it all like that. So I think I'm going to get rid of it. That hurts my heart to say that. But what am I going to do? You know, if I don't use it, I don't use it. And somebody needs to enjoy it. Glamlight Ice Cream palette. It is a drastic mess, but I use it all the time. So there's that. Next up, we have the Michaela palette, the Michaela Pot 2. It looks like this. I'm going to keep this and keep using it. Let me fix that. Okay. Okay. Here's the Oracle palette by okay, at least they were just ColourPop. This is the Oracle palette by Spellbound Beauty. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna keep this. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Next up, I have my Janessa Myrick's. This is the Lightworks Volume 4. This is what it looks like. It's quite a mess, but I love it. And I am actually going to buy the Lightwork 6 if it's, or 5 if it's still around. What is it on? The Lightwork 4, so it would be the Lightwork 5 palette if it's still around. This is my Cutie palette from Nabla. I'm not getting rid of this. I love this little palette, and it shouldn't really be where it is. It should be with smaller stuff. Here I have the Frosted Flakes palette from Kellogg's, and you can do a beautiful orange, a beautiful blue, or both. Look with this. It's definitely a cool palette. That Time of Year, and this is by Gourmand Girls. It looks like this. I like this palette. I don't know if I love it though. I'm gonna get rid of it. Okay. This is the Bella Beauté Bar Angles of Illumination. This is all duochrome, so you know I can't get rid of it. Okay. One of my favorite, actually my favorite palette in my collection. This is the Strange and Unusual palette by Bella Beauté Bar. And it looks like this. I absolutely love this palette. It is so pretty. Their quality is so good. Okay, next up we have the Serenity palette by Cosmic Brushes. It looks like this. I need to get more use out of this, but I'm not worried about it. It's not like it's going anywhere. Okay, I have this Surge palette by Blend Bunny. This looks like this. Very happy to have this. Nice palette. Okay, here is the other palette like that, like the one. This is the Flamingo palette. I love this palette so much. I use like crazy, and now I'm thinking about getting rid of it. I'm gonna do just that. So we'll get rid of it. Okay, now the Norvina palette. I don't know if this was the most recent one or what, but this is what it looks like. I'm going to keep it. I really like the Norvina formula. You'll see that in a second. Keeping this one. one. And then we still have a couple slim ones to go, keeping this one. They're all ABH Norvina palettes. This I'm going to get rid of. This is the Blood Money palette from Jeffree Star. I'm not liking him enough to keep one of his palettes, like the whole palette. I just don't want to support that much. This is the Impulsive palette by Melt. I really like this palette. I always have. A lot of people didn't like it. This was my first favorite palette in the whole wide world. This is from Dose of Colors, and this is the Friendication palette. These colors in here, and they probably swatched like the day I bought it. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I gotta get rid of this just because it's too old. This I used quite a few times, and I don't like the shimmers in it, and the mattes are really dusty. I wish I liked it better because it was a gift from a subscriber, but I'm not gonna like keep something just for that reason. This palette is really pretty, but I'm not going to use it. It's the Ace Beauté Violet Sage palette. Really, really beautiful. Maybe I'll keep it. I'm not going to touch it probably. Watch. This is my Carly Bible palette from Anastasia. It looks like this, and it's going in the get rid of pile. And then I have the Alyssa Edwards palette. Here, let me take the little thing out. I'm going to get rid of this because I just don't use it. And now I have more palettes. The Resurrection palette from Wicked Widow Beauty. When I kept saying I have a rainbow palette that I like a lot better, I was talking about this. So I'm going to keep that. Okay, hold on one second. All right, so here is my Lilac You a Lot, which I just dropped, and all the shadows like flew everywhere. So this isn't in order anymore, but I am going to keep it. I'm going to keep all of these palettes, like all the one color ones. This is the Honey palette. I can't hold this and open them with nails. This is what it looks like. It's a beautiful palette, so I'm going to keep it. This is On Cloud Blue. Looks like that. Love it. I love these ColourPop palettes. Like, they're so easy to use. This one, Meant to Be. And then this one is Baby Got Peach. Looks like that. And then these ones I'm not sure about. Okay, this is Lilac Pastels by Huda Beauty. This is what it looks like. So I guess I'm going to keep this for the shimmers. It's not in my way and it doesn't bother me. So yeah, I'm going to keep this for the shimmers. You can tell I've hit pan in all these Huda Beauty ones, except for this one. But I do like the shimmers in this one also. And then I have two little Hello Kitty. This is the Cherry Sweet. And this is the Cocoa Cutie. Yeah. Very cute. So I have to run into the other room and get the rest of my palettes, and then I'm going to be back. So bye for now, but I'll be back in literally 1 second. Hello everybody, I'm back. Just wanted to grab the last of my palettes. So I guess we'll just go through these and figure out whatever. So this first one is a Illuminati palette with 4 shimmers in it, and it's never been touched. I'm gonna get rid of that. This one is by Luna Magic. I love the blues in here, so I'm actually going to keep this one, which I didn't think I was really going to do that. But okay. This is a LA Colors Lemon Drop palette, and it's actually really beautiful. It was like $1.50 at Dollar General. And then I have these totally plastic things. They were a collab with Iggy Azalea and I think BH Cosmetics. And there was the purple one, the pink one, and then the green one. I have the purple and the blue. I like them. I'm going to keep them. Like I said, this stuff doesn't get in my way. It's in my drawers, closed up, so on and so forth. This is the hot pink one, and I about killed that shadow, but I'm going to keep that. And then I have this just in case it runs out. How bad is that? Okay, now this is the Orange Neon palette. I love these. I can't get enough of them. So I'm going to keep that. This one, however, this is the green one. I have a favorite green. I know where it is. I'm just going to get rid of it. Okay, and now these. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. This purple one, I'm going to get rid of it. It's the Jewel Tone Huda Beauty things. Okay, green, hit pan on it. Like, I love these Huda Beauty palettes for a while until she started just doing only neutrals. And then I got this blue one, and I'm not going to keep that either. So I got the 4 of those, except for that like orangish one. I didn't pick that up. I have a couple Violet Voss mini palettes. This is Sparkling Cherry. I really, really like this palette. It's beautiful. I'm going to keep it. Like, these are her fun size palettes. This one is beautiful. I'm going to keep it. I'm probably going to say that about all of them. Yeah, this is beautiful and I'm going to keep it. And then one more time. This is a little bit repetitive, but I love it and I'm going to keep it. Okay, so next up, ABH and Norvina. See, I don't like these ones as much as I like the big ones for whatever reason. So this one, it's the Mini Pro Pigment Volume 1. I'm going to get rid of that. This is the Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 3. Also going to get rid of that. This is by House Labs. This is the 4-way disco thing. It has a pretty gold in it, but other than that, like, no. Just no. I don't know how that happened in my collection. Next one is the Juvia's Place, the Rebel Army. I like this palette. It's pretty, so I'm going to keep it. Next up, we have the Tinkerbell Sprinkle a Little Magic. This is a really pretty palette. It has those neutrals in it that if I ever need them, they are there. And the greens to go along with it so that if I ever need them, they're there. So this one, can I open it? This is the Just My Luck palette. Keeping it. It's my pleasure. Gonna keep that. I don't know if I'm gonna keep all of them. We'll see. Probably, but I'm gonna keep this one. This is the Strawberry Shake. This is the Ooh La La. It's not in order anymore because I've dropped it so many times, but I like it, so I'm gonna keep it. I got the Blue Moon palette. This looks like this. I still got the foam in here. This is the High Tide palette. It looks like this. It's gorgeous. I love it. Orange You Glad. This still has the foam in it. Okay, there's that. I have the Child palette that looks like this. Love that. I have the Mar palette, which these three like blues and this like tealish blue, whatever, they're so pretty. And then I have the Soul palette, and I'm not sure what this is. Oh, it's like orange based. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep that. And then that's it. So I don't know what the numbers are, but I will put a grand total in the comments. I'll pin a comment with my grand total and then how many I got rid of and how many I kept. All right, that's going to be a lot of work for me. So I'll talk to you guys soon. I love and appreciate each and every one of you guys, wherever you guys are, whatever time of day it is. I hope you're having a great one, and I will talk to you soon. All right, bye guys.